7 countries in 14 days? Why, yes, my life is insane. Let's talk about it. Hey folks, Chuck Holton here. Thanks for watching the Hot Zone. I am in Houston on my last layover before I get home after 2 weeks gone and a lot of miles traveled, without a doubt. I was in 7 countries plus Guam, which is, I don't know if you count that a country or not, that make maybe 8. Went to do reporting from 3 different countries, the Philippines, Cambodia, and Japan. Ended up with about 10 different stories that I worked on in that time. So it's been a really busy couple of weeks. And that's part of the reason why I haven't been putting too much up on the podcast. But I wanted to give you an update and just give you a little sense of what I've been doing. A lot of what I'm reporting on has to do with the threat from China. China is threatening all of its neighbors, from Russia to Japan to the Philippines to all the countries in the South China Sea to even Tibet and its countries in the eastern part. India, China is a threat to all of its neighbors. They have territorial ambitions. They've got like the second largest country in the world, but that's not enough, apparently. They need more. They have an absolutely insatiable appetite for resources, and they're trying to gather those resources everywhere and every way they can. So the United States is moving to counter China in the South China Sea and in the Indo-Pacific, places like that. So I went over there to do some reporting on it. Went to Subic Bay in the Philippines. That was interesting. Didn't actually see a lot, but I got a couple good interviews and it'll make for a good story. I then went to Cambodia. That really wasn't about China. Cambodia was more reporting for CBN on a women's shelter that was started by an American woman over there and is supported by my friend Victor Marks and his All Things Possible Ministries, where they take girls, they rescue girls out of trafficking. You have the standard sort of sex trafficking where a girl gets fed a roofie and wakes up chained to a bed somewhere. That actually happens more than you think. And I met some girls that had happened to on this trip. But even more than that, in Cambodia and other places, it's not uncommon for a girl to just be walking down the street and get thrown in the back of a truck and kidnapped, taken off to become a sex slave, or even to be sold into slavery by her own parents, because to them, life is not as valuable to them as it is to us. There are about 40-something girls in this house that I went and took a look at. All of them have been trafficked. Many of them are underage, as young as 8, have been molested as young as 4. Horrific. Lots of medical problems and mental problems that stem from things like that. But they're doing a great job with those girls. And thanks to Victor Marks and All Things Possible Ministries, they have the money to house and support those women and put them to work and get them through school and move them on with their lives. And many of them are going on to lead absolutely normal lives. Really cool to see. It was just very powerful to see. I also, as part of that story, went down and walked down around in the red light district. There are lots of pedophiles down there. The woman that took me down there, Holly, she even saw guys picking up little boys. There are lots of little street urchins down there who will very easily get suckered into sex trafficking or sex work by pedophiles from the West, the United States and Europe. And there were tons of guys walking around down there, tons. Lots of old guys too. I saw a guy that had to be like 80. Wow, good for you, but not good for the girls you're down there to pick up. That was fascinating. Then I went to Japan, and they are moving very aggressively to counter China's influences over Taiwan. And they know that if Taiwan gets attacked, Japan will be in the combat zone if that happens. and they will be the recipient of millions of refugees out of Taiwan. So they are preparing big time and building up their military in a way that has not been seen since World War II. That's a big deal. So I want to just play you a few snippets from this last trip to give you a sense of what I was doing and the kinds of things I got to see. So check this out. Up until its closure in 1992, the United States Naval Base here at Subic Bay, Philippines, was one of the largest military bases on the entire planet. It was bigger than some countries, and it shut down 30 years ago, but now it may be coming back under a new extended defense cooperation agreement that the United States is signing with the Philippines. We may see troops here once again in short order to counter the threat from China.
Yeah,
You fell on the ground. He put his foot on your arm. Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you have a scar from that. So he stood on your arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he cut your hand off with a big machete, like a butcher knife.
Yeah.
Like a yeah.
He said you die, I go. Hay nhom phơ á, mà phơ đôi chụp slap á.
Oh, so you pretended to be dead then?
Yeah. I have freedom. Yeah. I'm okay. Happy. Yes.
Oh, take your picture.
I think you take picture, so okay.
What's your name?
Yaya.
Yaya?
Yeah.
This is Yaya.
Yaya from the vampire. I shy, you take picture like that, okay?
This year will be one of the most popular years for tourism here on Ishigaki Island that they've seen since COVID ended. And that's a really good thing, but what the people on the island are most worried about is an influx of people that aren't tourists. The Japanese people come here to the Yasukuni Shrine in downtown Tokyo to honor the spirits of their war dead. And they haven't had any of those in a long, long time because after World War II, they basically became a pacifistic country. But that may be about to change. Because of the threat from China, Japan has seen the need to start to build up its military once again. All right, folks, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching The Hot Zone. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to The Hot Zone. Trying to get over 13,000 subscribers on YouTube. If you are listening to the podcast, thank you, and please share it with your friends. You can follow all of my work, including the reporting that I do for CBN and Newsmax and elsewhere, on chuckholton.locals.com. You can subscribe there for subscriber-only content that I put up there. A lot of things that I can put up privately that I cannot put up publicly just because of their provenance or because they're somewhat sensitive in nature. I just can't put them out in public, but I can share them with you if you're a subscriber over there. So that's worth doing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you.